Hello everyone. By the time you see this video, it will already be November. Yeah, meaning I will officially be qualified as a nurse and will have been working as a nurse for a full year. Ooh, 365 days. That's incredible, isn't it? And well, if you told me how this year was going to be, at the start of this year, I wouldn't believe you. But all in all, this year has been challenging, overwhelming. It has been, let me say, humbling. But it's shown me the strength in people and also the strength that I never knew I had. So I'm very, very positive about that. But before I waste your time, let's get into the video. Hello everyone, my name is Oteb. You can call me Iris. This is a platform where I share my thoughts of being a nurse and also my journey, how I became a nurse from being a non-traditional student here in the UK and sailing my way through to become a first-class student and also doing well in nursing. So if you are interested in any tips and hacks of becoming a nurse and how you can sail through successfully, let's be friends. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you the things that I have learned from qualifying as a nurse. I know it's only been a year. I am just a novice, but I have really learned a lot, and what I'm sharing with you today is not the textbook things. It is real life raw frontline experience, that experience that is rewarding but also brutal. So first lesson that I learned in this whole year will be that you are the CEO of your patients as a nurse. What I mean is that you are the person who notice any changes in your patient. You are this individual who notice that your patient is got fluctuating in their heart rate. You notice also that the patient has got a dip in their blood pressure, their breathing has changed, and you take it upon yourself to do something to make sure this patient is well or they get the support that they need. In that instant, it is you as a nurse that will think critically and analyze what you want to do by making sure you sort of like you do an ECG for this patient, do a full set of ops for this patient, and then you can use this to escalate the patient's needs to your doctor. It is you as a nurse that liaise with the patient's family to tell them that, you know what, this is how we are progressing, giving them an update about how the patient is doing on the ward or in the care home. It is you that will ring a doctor at 3 a.m. because you think this patient something is not right, and that 3 a.m. call is not negotiable. You have to make that call. It is you as a nurse that will break that difficult communication, or you will break that sad news to the patient family that, you know what, I need to tell you this. And it is you that will think that my patient will actually benefit from some therapies, and so because of that you will refer the patient to other healthcare practitioners, the physiotherapy, the OT. It is you that will notice that one of your patient has got swallowing difficulty because they were struggling when you were giving them their medication this morning, and that they will need a speech and language therapy. So what I'm saying here in this instant is that use your instinct. If something you feel like your patient is not well, that is what we do. Don't worry about you ringing or you making a call to somebody that you think will help the patient benefit or the patient get the care that they need. And sometimes if it is necessary for you to push things for your patient to get the support, don't hesitate, just push it, because that is where you will be noticed. It's those simple things, those small things that the patient will acknowledge. Is they would rather remember the nurse who got the doctor for them when they were struggling to breathe. The second lesson that I got in the whole 1 year will be that vital signs are not just numbers. They really tell a story. You know, when we are in school and we were doing the vital signs, it appears to me as though you might think it's just a tick box exercise, but in real life, it really tells a story. It is that shows that the patient is not well and actually needs support. It is that will give you the general physiology of that patient and what they are going through. I will never forget a patient that I was speaking to. The patient had a respiratory rate of 28. That 28 alone on the parameter in the news chart will score you a 3. So this means that that patient was really struggling. This happened even long before their blood pressure dropped. And I cannot believe how it was helpful when we got the doctor to come and see the patient. Actually, this patient was crashing long before things got worse. So when you are doing these observations for your patients, you will come to the realization that machines will give you data, but as a human being, your connection with your patient will give you context. So just don't ignore your instincts. If you think something is not right, something is not right. And the patient, they know themselves. So even if you haven't done an observation and the patient says, I'm not well, they are not well. They really are not well. What I usually say that when things like that happen, what I do is, if they say I'm not well, all I do is I tell my colleagues that I'm working with, can we do a full set of ops for this patient? And then when the ops come, then I know, okay, everything is all right. However, this patient is still telling me they are not well. Are they well in themselves? Still, I will get a doctor to come and see them to say, okay, this is not urgent, but if you are on the ward, would you pop in and see this patient, because they are telling me they are not well. In that case, you as a nurse, you have escalated that and you have documented that. And so if anything happens, it's not on your head. It's not sort of like you did not deal with their complaint. And don't get me started with the documentation. It's brutal. That EPR or EMR, if you don't document it, it's not happened. So you really still, even though you are not getting anywhere with that, you have to still try your best and find a way to document whatever has happened, need to document. So my next lesson will be, tax-based care is a myth. Trust me, I will say it again. Tax-based care is a myth. It's not true. It's a scam. Believe me, that is a scam. You know what? I went into nursing with this naive idea that I have to have a to-do list, and I had everything planned. So in the morning, from 7 a.m., I'll be doing my medication round. 8 a.m. maybe I will do my wound dressing, or 9 a.m. I will start doing, or I'll join the MDT. In nursing, your shift is a chaotic dance of constantly reprioritizing your to-do list. So when I say, every time what I say to myself is, that checklist that we have, or the to-do list, is just a suggestion. It's not a plan, because you don't have time. It's for you to be wasting some of it. And this is where it feels that, because when I went into nursing, or as you so many people would say, when we went into nursing, we were going in, we all said, oh, we've got, it is passion, it is my passion to be a nurse, I love caring for people. But in real life, when you are in that front line, basically when you are in an acute ward like I am in, it's hard for you to find time to sit with your patient and discuss. The times that I've had to know my patient very well is on the night shift, mostly on the night shift. But during that time as well, the patient wants to sleep, so you do not have to go there and disturb them unless they want to speak to you, unless they want to have a chit chat with you. That is fair enough. So what I'm saying in here is that don't judge yourself, or don't think that you are going in there with a to-do list and you have to achieve all those to-do lists, or you have a checklist that you go to work with, and if you don't achieve them, it means you are not doing well. How chaotic your shift will decide how you will go with your to-do list. So do not be so hard on yourself if you cannot achieve all your to-do list. You can hand stuff over. I'm not saying that you should leave stuff undone too much, as though that to the point that you are leaving a lot of job also for the next nurse who is coming in. You know, I know it's a 24-hour care, but at least we have to do our best. But do not blame yourself most of the time for the things you cannot achieve. And this is something that I need to speak to myself. I need to realize myself, because I go home all the time and I'm thinking, I did not document that. Did I document that? Did I complete everything? After a year, I think I really have to think about me not just stressing on these things that much. My next tip, which is going to be the fourth lesson, was that I learned that your teammates are your lifeline. Guys, you cannot do this on your own, period. And that's it. You need people to support you. You know, your colleagues, the healthcare assistants, the care support workers, the nursing associate, the clinical nurse assistants, they are your best mate. Your doctors, your nurses, the sisters, your preceptors, whoever they are your support system. Use them as much as you can. What I mean is that get the support that you need from them, and get the advice that you need from them now, before you go ahead into being 2 years of qualified or 3 years of qualified. Because if you do not get this support at this time, by the time you realize you are on your own and you are meant to be, it doesn't matter whether you are new, you have to do it as a nurse, because you have to do it. You are expected to be accountable. You are expected to be able to liaise with other people. You are expected to be able to prioritize your patient. You are expected to be able to practice effectively. You are expected to be able to work effectively with your colleagues. And so if you are not learning this in your first year, now that you are still a baby and you need that support, my biggest fear wasn't the bodily fluids that I come into contact with. My biggest fear was the sheer mental load that comes with being a nurse. When you are in school, you learn tasks, but when you are working on the front line, when you are on the floor, you learn that you are the central processing unit of your patients, and there is no two ways about it. This is what you've got, and you have to deal with it. It means for you to get a little notebook, like, please do it. Don't be scared. Don't feel shy that you've got your brain book in your pocket, because that one, it has been my helper. It's kind of like my Bible in nursing. Get some of this, because tomorrow you go and ask that person the same question, and will go behind you and say, why can't this person absorb information when I tell them one thing? They keep coming and asking the question. But you need to ask, you need to be sure of what you're doing. You can't just say, oh, thank you for showing me that, while you do not understand, and tomorrow you go and do something that is not appropriate. So ask the questions. If you need to ask it 20 times, ask that question 20 times and write it in that book 20 times. I can't stress on this enough, but this is the real life experience. I'm telling you, it is the real life experience. And you know, your healthcare support workers, they are your backbone. It is them that will tell you a patient has got a new skin damage that was not there. There is a new moisture lesion. There is a new pressure. So it is these individuals, these healthcare support workers that will tell you that I have done a full set of ops and I've got a news of 9. Some healthcare support workers are very good. They are excellent. They will come to you and inform you about a high news score. Some of them will not even attempt to tell you. And so if you as a nurse are not checking constantly on your EPR to see who is newsing, a news score of maybe 5, 6, 7 will be hanging there for a couple of hours unnoticed. If you work well with these healthcare support workers, they will tell you everything. And it's also, I'm not saying make friends with them, but make things clear to them at the start of the shift. Tell them what you want to achieve. If some patients need extra care, if some patients need some ops doing, and if it is to be hourly, 2 hourly, if some patients need their weight taken, their must doing, let them know what you want to achieve and give them the support hand if you can. Because you know what, that sentence or that statement, I need a hand in room 4, is a scary question that every one of us will answer in our training or in our journey of being a nurse. So what I can say is, let your co-workers or your colleagues be your ally. My next point will be that self-care is not selfish, it is survival. In nursing, you give so much as a nurse that you come home and you've got nothing left in you. You've got nothing left in you. I come home, feet are sore, like you could feel your feet breathing. It's painful. I don't know how to say it, but it's the constant being on your feet. You've got your breaks, but sometimes you feel like, if I go on my break, this task is not finished because something came up while I was meant to go for my break and I couldn't leave. A patient became unwell and that I had to attend to that patient, and so I couldn't go for my break, and that break goes, you don't get it. So what I'm saying is, try and get your breaks. Take your breaks. This is what I don't do. But I am beginning to learn about this. If you've got tips, any tips to help me with how I can get my breaks, please comment them in the section below. I'll be very, very happy to take that on board. So let me know. But take your breaks. You know, them holidays, do not sell them. If it means saying no to an extra shift, say no to it, because you've only got you and no one is going to save you. No one is coming to save you. You've got you, and that's you alone. So try and take them holidays. If it means you going away, go away, guys, because it's not always the money. You need to have time for yourself. And also, if I say self-care, I mean getting proper and comfortable shoes like this and that. These are life-changing shoes. I don't know what I would have done if I do not have these shoes. They are comfortable. We are working on a busy ward, and so we are constantly on our feet. But you, at that point, as I've said in my other video, you are using your brain, your soul, your heart, your mind, everything. So you are not connecting. So if you have time, just go out to the park, go out to where you feel like you can connect with nature and just relax. Guys, do not blame yourself for not catching up with a nurse who has been working for long before you were born. Experience comes with practice. Experience comes with time. You will these nurses that have been practicing long before, 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, 6 years, they have got this muscle memory with the things that they do. Even it could be things like injection, it could be like simple things like taking vital signs. They know, they can even calculate it before the machine calculates it for you, because they've been there and they know. They do this all the time. And so if you are on with a nurse and they are finishing their jobs or tasks early, and you are still doing stuff, it means you care. And it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So what I'm going to say is, if you are working with somebody who is faster, who does their things quicker because they've got the experience, they know their patients, don't blame yourself. For example, if you go to work today and let's say you have a 12-hour shift today, and you had a set of patients, like 10 patients, and because it's new, they are new to you, you might take a bit of time to know these patients before you can do certain things for them. You can know their care plan, you can know what they are on, what their routines are. But the next day, if you come and you are in the same team, looks like, I know these people, so things go quicker. That is how you have to take it. Understand it, that these nurses or these experienced nurses have been on this ward. Some of them have been going to different wards and they've got the experience that you do not have. So don't blame yourself. It comes with time. You will do well. But if you need support, if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask these people, because they will be your backbone and your support team. So this is what I've learned from qualifying as a nurse. This is not literally it, but this were the burning ones that I feel I need to share with somebody who is about to start as a newly qualified nurse, just to encourage you in what you do. And nursing is a very rewarding job. And if you ask me today that will I do it again, 100% yes, I am going to do it again. It is a noble job and it is a privilege. To me, it's a privilege for me to be let into someone's life who doesn't know me, and someone who might feel they are far away, they are scared, they are anxious, they've got anxiety, and I can make them calm, I can make them comfortable and have trust in me. Is something I do not take for granted. So if you are a new starter, do not feel the stress yet. Go in, experience whatever is out there, and also let me know how you feel. And if you are also a nurse and you've got experience, please let me know what were your shocking lessons and how did you deal with them. And also for students, what is your anxiety for going out to work as a nurse or on placement? So this is all that I have today for you, and I shall see you in the next one. Let's be friends. Have a lovely time. Bye.